Well, these are my pants, and they're very heavy. You wouldn't believe how much stuff I have in them and how heavy they are. So, I'm going to weigh myself, and I'm going to weigh these pants, and I'm going to subtract the difference and see how much these pants actually weigh. Okay, let's see exactly how much these pants weigh. Calibrating. I'm user 2. Recalibrating. Okay. These pads are metallic, and they send a current through your body, and supposedly it measures your fat percentage, because fat and muscle have different conductivities. So you don't weigh yourself with socks. The idea is you put your bare feet on these pads, and then it gets a better idea of not only how much you weigh, but what your BMI and your percent fat is. But we're not interested in that today. We want to know how much these weigh, and they weigh pretty heavy. So, I'm going to get on here . And it looks like I'm about 140.8 pounds, and that's my percent fat. That's not important. So 140.8 pounds. Next, I'm going to pick these up, and I'm going to reweigh myself. User number 2, set. Okay, here we go. Wow. $148. That's me while I'm holding these. That's heavy. What is that, like 6 pounds? Let me just check that again. So, with the jeans, with the cargo pants, I weigh 148 pounds. Now, recalibrate. User number 2, set. Okay, here we go. Looks like I'm about, okay, 141, so 141.2. That's about 7.8 pounds. That's heavy, and I'm not even wearing shoes. That's a lot of weight I carry around during the day. So, I have 7.8 pounds of stuff in here. Let's find out what it is. Okay, so they're actually 6.8 pounds. Let's say 7 pounds. These pants are about 7 pounds. That's how much stuff is in here. So let's start with what I use the most, and that would be what's right here. These are my wire strippers, and I use these all the time. They come in 2 different models. One is the spring-loaded one, which is this one, and the other one is without the spring. I prefer the one with the spring. They're made by Miller, but it actually says Ripley and Company, I think. Yeah, and it's the Miller Model 101S from Cromwell, Connecticut. So these are great for cutting and stripping wire. You can strip different gauges of wire, from small, very small like that, to bigger, 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 bigger. It doesn't have set gauges, so if you're good and you're fast and you know what you're doing, you just kind of feel your way into the wire and then you strip it. You don't need set gauges like a lot of them do. So this is a very good tool for any technician to have. It's supposed to lock, but well, it sort of locks, but then it kind of pops open. So these always go right in this pocket right here. They don't weigh very much though. Then I have these. Obviously I have a pen. There it goes. It's just an ordinary Bic round stick pen. I have my Sharpie, sharp one, in blue. I always bring around an orange highlighter because there's always something I usually need to make stand out, and I like orange. Okay, I'm a big fan of this screwdriver. The reason is because it's not round like a lot of screwdrivers. It's oval, which means that it's not going to take a lot of space up in my pocket. So I can just kind of slip it in my pocket like that, and it lays flat. It doesn't bulge out, so it's good for keeping in a pocket, and it's very small. And obviously, it's got your blade and your Phillips. And then it's got the bigger Phillips and the bigger blade. And it's also got this little hex wrench, so you can use it to unscrew a bolt. And there's 2 different sizes. There's that size and there's this size. This and this are my 2 most important tools. But Also pretty important, if I can find it, and it looks like it might not be in here right now, so I'll show you this one. This is a very small screwdriver for working on very small things. Again, it's got the blade and it's got the Phillips. And I rarely take this apart, but if I was to take it apart, I think I would have another size in here. And it's pretty stuck. Tough to do it one-handed, but there's another size in there. I'm going to leave it alone though. I have another one of these that I use even more, but I don't see it in my pocket. I just used it. I have a feeling hopefully I didn't leave it somewhere. Alright. A level. Bubble level. Sometimes I just can't eye something up to make it level. So in that case, I got this guy. And it's pretty accurate. Alright, I got my black Sharpie. That's the thick one. I have a black fine Sharpie. That's the very fine one. Not like the blue one. This one's finer than the blue. And then I have a blue Sharpie, fat one, but this one's actually sharper than the black one just because it's newer, so I use this too. And then I have my pink Sharpie. It's actually not pink, it's more like a sort of like a light magenta. I like this one because it's a Sharpie, but it's also got the fine point on the other side. So that's handy. And if you look closely, it's got these little nibs on the big cap. That's so that you can cap the cap and it stays on. So I use this also for when I want something to stand out. Okay. This is empty. But there's something else that I usually keep in here, and it's not here right now. And that's that other screwdriver. So I think it might be one of my other pockets. I hope, because I hope I didn't lose it. Next, I got this big cargo pocket. By the way, this fabric is really tough. So that's what I like about these pants. And they're double stitched. So they're really resistant to punctures. And they don't tear too easily. I keep the snaps open. I don't snap them. But you can if you want to. But in this pocket, I only keep my phone, which I'm holding, and my car keys. These car keys have a little dongle on them. This key is for a Ford Transit Connect. It's a funny looking key. So sometimes I'll put some papers in that pocket, but for the most part it's just my phone and my keys. Alright, next, this pocket right here, which I like that it's reinforced. It looks like leather, but it's not leather. It's some kind of a man-made material, but it's tough. So you can take one of your tools like this and you can just kind of stick them in there and they don't wear out. So I like that. Alright, so let's see what's in here. It's tough to do this sitting down, so I'll stand up. More keys. Alright. We have all kinds here. This here, this is a key that opens up the back of a carbon monoxide detector. So you can service them with this. That's what this key is for. This key, this is a handcuff key. You never know when you got to get out of a set of handcuffs. This is a little key for an alarm panel. This little leopard key is my house key to the apartment. This key is the main door. And this is called a utility key. And it's kind of cool. It's got little tools on it. You can pop it open. It's got a screwdriver, it's got a knife, it's got a serrated knife. It's got a little blade screwdriver. You can cut wire with it. So it's kind of cool to have in an emergency. This is a pill fob. I used to take prescription medication. I don't take them anymore, but I left it on here. And I use it to put other stuff. That's what this is. And this is called a Kubaton, which is it's a self-defense item, but I don't use it for that. What I use this for is if I need to put my keys in my pocket, and I don't want to lose my keys all the way into the bottom of my pocket, I just go like that. And that's it. They will never fall out, and they won't get lost. So, it's great for that. Keys. Okay, what else? A flashlight. Really important. I like this flashlight because the button is recessed, which means I can turn it on, and then I can take this flashlight and I can stand it up. And if I'm in a small space, the light shines up and it illuminates the whole space. I don't have to point it anywhere. You can also focus this flashlight. So, flashlight. I have a wallet. I actually carry two wallets. This is my work wallet. Got some money in here. Got some business cards in here. And some small little stickers that I use for work. And a couple other really small items that are in there that I also use for work. Work wallet. is on this side. On this side is my personal wallet. Again, it's got some money, credit cards, business cards, whatever. I like this kind of wallet because it forces me to not put a lot of stuff in my wallet, otherwise it wouldn't close, and it's really easy to slip into my pocket. It doesn't get caught on a lot of things. Downside of this wallet, if you drop it, it will pop open and all your stuff will go everywhere. Alright. Pink pen. I like this pen because it can write on anything. This is actually a paint pen. It's a Jelly Roll paint pen. So it'll write pink even on something that's black. For example, let's just say I wanted to write my initials on this tool right here. Or maybe I want to color in the J, or I don't know. Let's say I want to put my initials right here. All I have to do is just get the ink flowing. And it writes on metal, and it shows up on black. It's great. So this is one of my favorite pens. And it writes on paper as well. Just have to wait for this to dry. And it's water soluble though, so if you get it wet, it'll scrub off. It's not oil based, but that's also why it flows so easily. Okay. This pocket is now empty. Moving on to this pocket. A tissue. Never leave home without one. These are wire ties. 4-inch wire ties. Let's see if I can get one out. It's tough to get them out one-handed. How these work. Let's see if I can do this one-handed. There we go. I like the sound these make. Stuck. Can't get it off now. Wire ties. Pack of 100, black. Oh, I got some money. I think someone tipped me. So I got that. I got a check because I got paid this week. I have another tissue that's old. And that is everything in this pocket. I also have this belt buckle. I don't know if you can tell what it is. It's a rabbit. This was a gift from my mom. After my rabbit died, he died of predation. They were looking after it when I was away, and he was outside and he got attacked by raccoons. So yeah, he didn't make it into any YouTube videos, but I do have some footage of him. So maybe I'll splice him in at some point. But this is just a leather belt with this little buckle. This buckle's pretty heavy. It's pretty thick. Alright. Now, I have this pocket here. And in this pocket, I put a lot of small things that I don't want to get lost into the bottom of my pockets. Like a twist tie. Twist tie with another key. Another key. Another key. Some mollies or wall fasteners with some screws for hanging stuff up on the wall. Little tiny white zip tie. And this is a barrel connector. It's a coupler for coaxial cable, like the kind for your TV. This is handy when you have to extend a wire run. More keys. Not even sure what some of these are for. Screws. More keys. This one says Hudson on it. I'm not sure what this is for. This might be an oldie. Sometimes I save keys just in case. This one I don't know what this is for, but it's unusual. I save keys because sometimes I need to get into a locked box for work and I can't. This is a little brass charge for a nail gun. You can shoot. It's a .22 caliber powder cap that shoots a nail into concrete. They're kind of cool looking. Lint, and this is a little B connector for splicing wires. This is an old one. They don't make them like this anymore. Now they make them a little cheaper. You can see the copper wire inside. And this pocket is empty. So all that was from this little pocket. Alright, let's go to the back pocket. By the way, I always have one of these. Not for climbing, but sometimes I have to attach something to my belt loop. And I also use it to quickly pull my pants up, because 7 pounds of pants, you gotta pull them up every now and then because they're heavy. This is a different one. This one, it's from Nite-Ize, and it doubles as a bottle opener. It's an S-biner. It's called S-biner. Got one here, and that's the bottle opener. I think it even says "Say Ah" on the back, right there. But this one, that's just regular, lightweight carabiner. Okay. Back pocket, which is also reinforced. This pocket is where I keep my change. And there's a lot of it in here. Any change I get, I don't put it in my front pocket. I put it in my back pocket because it's easier to get to. And that's the only thing I keep in there. There's a few more in here. Sorry about that. Alright. Now I got my other back pocket. By the way, these are Rigg's Workwear by Wrangler. In case you were wondering what kind of pants these are. Okay, well, forgot about that. Clearly, I have a ring in there. This is just a little cheap ring. I think it comes apart. This comes off. It's like a spinner ring. This spins, and you can like take this side off, and then this gold piece slips off, and it becomes 3 pieces. But for now, I'll just put this right here. This is just some extra wire, because you never know when you need some wire, just to do a little quick thing. So I always end up with some of that in my pocket. Tape measure. This is not a heavy-duty tape measure, but it's so small and so lightweight, I always keep it in my back pocket. So I can always measure stuff. Small things. I forget what the length is. It's got metric on one side, and it's got inches on the other side. I think 60 inches is the max. Used to lock, but the lock broke. But the spring works. I've had this in my pocket for about 10 years. Still works. Okay, what else do we have? Oh, well, I don't know how this got in here. I was emptying out my car, and I had another keychain. I had some old little magnetic bracelet. It's got little magnets in it. It's supposed to like trap the metal ions in your wrist or something, which is kind of bogus, but it's magnetic. Got a little mini pocket knife, which I used to just keep dangling from my windshield washer lever in my car, and I guess I switched cars and I forgot to put it back on. Let's see if I can get it to open without cutting myself. Looks like that. It's pretty sharp. And one last thing, a dime. So that pocket's empty. Last pocket. This is a heavy pocket. This pocket doesn't have these pockets. It only has this one, but I've crammed this with a lot of stuff, so this is a shoe cover. You go in someone's house, you don't want to take off your shoes, you slip this over your shoe, over your boot, and then you can walk around and you don't leave a mess in their house. This is a shiny plastic. I don't like these as much because they're not absorbent and they're slippery, so if you're walking on carpet and you go down the stairs, it's easy to slip and fall on your back. There's another kind that are softer that I like better. Oh, and here they are. This is the soft kind. You can barely hear it. It's absorbent, so it doesn't, if your feet are wet, it doesn't pool up inside the bootie like it does with this. It's better traction. It won't scratch the floor. It's quieter. Doesn't make noise. Like that one. And I have two, one for each foot. Multi-tool. I like this multi-tool because of the way it opens. You're supposed to be able to flick it so you can actually open it one-handed. You take it, and let's see if I can do it without shaking the camera, but you kind of go down like that, and then you kind of go like that, and like that, and it opens. I didn't do a very good job because I'm trying not to shake the camera, but this is a good tool. And it doubles as a little stand. So if you move that down, and I think if you move this down, you go like that, you can actually use it to hold things. So you can put something in here and then close it, and then it'll stand. I use that sometimes, but not often. Sometimes if I'm soldering something, I'll use it as a little stand and it can hold what I want in place. But multi-tool. And I like its little velcro pouch. I used to keep it on my belt, but it was getting kind of bulky, so now I don't keep it on my belt, and I just keep it in my pocket. Electrical tape. This is white, obviously, so I can write on it. It doesn't stick as well as the black, but it's good for labeling. Oh, here's another roll of white. One of these sticks better than the other, and I forget which one. I think the white, this has kind of become a little ivory colored. This is white. I think this one sticks better than this one, but anyway, I don't know how I ended up with two. That's fine. Ah, more keys. These are my work keys. Bunch of these keys for opening up fire alarm boxes and alarm boxes. Office key. Same stuff. And a big key ring. Electrical tape, black. I'm not going to open this because I don't want to get it all linty and sticky. The black electrical tape leaves a black residue, unlike the white tape, so this can get a little messy. So until I actually need this, I'm going to keep it in its little cellophane wrapper. This stuff is pretty sticky. Alright, these are B connectors. These are blue, similar to this one, but the difference is these blue ones, I'll see if I can get one out. The blue ones have silicone on the inside, and you can't really see it, but inside they injected silicone. So I use these when I'm working outdoors or anywhere where there's going to be something that's wet, so that moisture doesn't get in and corrode the connection. Here's the other blue bootie. these are just more little packets of wall fasteners, you know, mollies, screws, and that little tool that I said opens up the carbon monoxide detector. I just put the extras in a little Ziploc bag, and I keep them inside my pocket. Okay. These are the white ones. No silicone inside these, but I use these the most, which is why these are almost empty, and the blue ones are still pretty full. You can see the difference. These are actually, the tan ones from like 20 years ago are molded. This might even be 30 years old, this tan one, right here. They're molded into that shape, but these are just kind of shrink wrapped. They're not molded. But these are probably a lot easier and cheaper to produce than these were. These are also a little bit flimsier. But everything is made thinner and cheaper these days. I crimp these with my multi-tool, so that's the other reason why it's good to have a multi-tool without having to reach for pliers. That's another bag of wall fasteners, mollies, screws, little carbon monoxide tool. I had a bunch of extras in my pocket. I just put them all in a bag. That's it. This pocket's empty. What else can I show you? Well, I guess I'll take this off. S-biner bottle opener. And I guess I'll take this one off. Whenever I buy these, I always make sure that the spring works and that the catch lines up with the biner. Sometimes they're crooked and then you go to close it and it doesn't close, so I like it to close. So I'm real fussy when I buy these, and these are cheap. These are like less than $1. Then here's my buckle. Guess I'll take that off. Here he is. Little grazing rabbit. And this is from 1979. Bergamot Brass Works. Made in USA. I forget where that factory was. I think that factory was somewhere in the Midwest, but look at the design. They actually even did this, which you never get to see. Again, they made these real nice back then. Now they don't put that design work onto this part. You know, even this has a bit of a design on it. That's something you just don't see anymore. It's got a leaf here and a leaf there. Little ivy leaves. And I like belts that you can change buckles. So if I want to change this buckle out, I can take that off and put on a different buckle. I also like belts that are made of real leather, and not the kind that it's fake leather and they just laminate it. It's so it ends up separating and then the top peels off. I think that's bonded leather. This says genuine Italian leather, made in USA, size 32. So this one will not separate because it's actually one piece of leather. They might have scuffed up the back, but I've been wearing this like every day for years and it still hasn't separated. So that's it. Let's roll this up. That is everything that's in my pocket. I almost want to weigh myself again and just see how much the pants themselves weigh. But I'm not going to do that. This is pretty heavy. So, everything that's in my pockets. Thanks for watching. Okay, I couldn't resist. I just want to know how much these weigh. Calibrating. User 2. Alright, with the pants on. $143.4. Okay. And try it with the pants off. User 2. Give me a second. $141.6. So that's less than 2 pounds. So, less than 2 pounds. That means I had like, yeah, about 5 pounds worth of stuff. Thanks for watching.